great. Tell us about your background and how at Glasswell you had both of those titles and or accountability and responsibilities.
Yeah, so I think I've always, well, I came from a development background, right? So I got into security by hacking my way into the job. But, and I started with pen testing, with, all that, even scanning the internet. I remember buying the first copy of Hacking Exposed, right? And then, let's say page 10, cool, scan the internet for DNS. Cool, let's see how it works. So it was a great learning experience. But I always felt that I've always built stuff. I always have an approach of building things. And Mario was kind of involved in some of the projects. I was the pure CISO, and I was still building things. So I feel that I have a very natural attraction to engineering, and I always found that. And this is an advice I would give to a lot of our peers, a lot of the people that are coming up in the security industry, right? It's very valuable to stay technical, very long in your career. So I made a very conscious decision, in my late 20s and 30s, not to go into management, because I wanted to keep being very technical. So that means that when I go into management, I was still one of the most technical persons in the room. And that has a big advantage because, allows you to build things, allows you to have a much better understanding of what's going on. So then, when the start of the Glasswell opportunity came along, it was very interesting because, they kind of needed, the lead of engineering, but I actually understood security, understood technology. So for me, that was a great opportunity to kind of come, and I actually started as a VP of engineering. So I was actually CISO VP of engineering, and I guess I promoted myself into being a CTO, right? By delivering a bunch of things, in a way to show that you could do it, because I agree with Mario that, that you do need to have a bit of expertise. But I do think there's a lot more people who can do it. I think, if you look at the interesting thing I found is that we, from a security, we have a different point of view on things. And I really found that our definition of what's possible is very different than most engineering teams and most even, senior engineering execs, definition of what's possible. Because in security, we're so used to go under the hood. We're so used to go, okay, if this is possible, then that is possible, then that is possible, then that is possible. And I found that in engineering, we in fact, we experience this from the other side, because sometimes we recommend things and there's a bit of an attrition. And I found that even when I was leading that part, there was still an attrition, right? It was still an attrition not to embrace certain ideas, not to do certain things, is not supposed to work. That's not how things are supposed to work, right? How many times I heard that? Well, that's not how it works. I'm like, well, I don't care. It's like, this is a better solution, right? So I think, there's a lot of value in engineering. And these days, I'll highly recommend any security executive to also have a stint at running things, because it will learn so much about how to get things done, what really matters, in fact, and where security can add a huge amount of value, right? I found myself sometimes making security decisions that really help engineering, and then vice versa, right? And it was a great way to push a lot of things that in the past it would just be slower to be adopted.